Welcome to Deep Thought. Bring those talents to the surface. Bring those talents to the surface now more than ever. People need to bring those talents to the surface because I'm going to tell you what, things are changing. And I've constantly talked about that lately. It's not going to go back to what it was. But within every single person that hears this, you have a talent. You were blessed with something, right? You were blessed with something. You know, we all have these skills, we have these gifts. We have something within us that we were naturally good at. Now is the time to bring it forward. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I don't care what the numbers are as far as the economy. I don't care or what people say that you should do or what businesses or jobs that you should get into. Everybody is good at something. And that could be the thing that helps you out. Not just in business, because, something like that I usually would discuss on my business channel, but just in life, just feeling fulfilled. I know of people, men and women. Yeah, they might be making money a certain way or getting into something, but their real gift is what brings them joy, what brings them passion, and can bring them money. It can bring them so many things. I'm going to tell you what, my main thing is writing. That's my main thing. I mean, I still got another novel in me. I got a lot of novels in me, right? And that's been my main thing. But that's the thing that's carried me to the point where I'm doing these podcasts is my writing. That's the base of everything. My books. People might think it's me doing these podcasts or talking about deep things or man gets woman or how a woman can attract a man or, money and everything. But the genesis, the seed of it all is writing. That's how I got what I'm doing in life. It's how I'm enjoying life, writing. And even everything I'm saying now, I could just as easily write it down. I do have a book. It's called "I'm Not Playing: Thoughts from a Raw Brother" that was based on blogs. In fact, blogging is how I started out, like doing these videos. It was just one time. As much as I love writing, sometimes I get tired. It was like, okay, let me just talk it out. Right? And but bringing that talent to the surface is what's gotten me here. Now, somebody else's talent might be writing. Somebody else's talent might be entertaining people. No, seriously, entertaining. You might be that person who could put together events or put together parties. And yeah, I know with even because the COVID thing is it's going to die down at some point. It's just a question of when. And, people want to socialize. You have some people who are able to put together stuff like that. Your talent could be making like scrumptious food. I remember I've met a few people, they could cook like crazy. I mean, shoot. As my grandfather used to say, it was like, man, somebody cooked something good. He said, you stuck your whole body in this. You stuck your finger in this, something, you know? But they were good at it. And speaking of my grandfather, well, technically he was my step grandfather. That dude could take rusted out hoopty car that had to be towed to the house and get that joint running. He could get that joint running. He was kind of a unofficial mechanic. He was a shade tree type of mechanic that could that actually worked sometimes at this garage, this back alley garage. But that was his talent. Everybody got something. Everybody got something. It could be a healing talent, just how you interact with people. You might have a level of empathy, right? And that could be helpful. Like I look at my youngest son, and he got a healing energy. He got a real healing energy, and it could be anything. Every one of us got something. And one thing, with everything happening, because you got people losing jobs, and or they businesses, places they were working went out of business, or people's businesses go out. You still had that talent. Now, if you were talented in your particular business or job, your talent will get that job or business back. So that's not a big deal. But sometimes when people go through something, they're opened up for something else. You know, when God closes one door, or one door closes, God is just opening up another door. You know, and that's the thing. And however you want to worship God, but it's the same deity. You know, he, she, it, whatever term you want to use, that's how it is. But the key for a person is to bring that talent to the surface. You know, look deep within. What do you really like to do? Take the money out of it. Take the money angle, because one of the reasons why people might bury their talents is we live in a culture which programs us to make a certain amount of money, to live a certain way. You know, but it's not really who we are. It's not who we are. And of course, there are situations where you are bringing your talent in, but you got to work on something else. But that's secondary. That's a day job. There's nothing wrong with a day job. But your talent brings you the ultimate joy. Because even if you got to work on something or have a job doing something that has nothing to do with your talent, as long as your talent is your primary thing, it brings everything. It brings everything. It brings you joy. It can, in many cases, to be honest. I'm gonna say most cases bring you money if you really work on it. You really work to perfect it. You know, it can help you out in life. It can bring you a mate. Let me use that part, the mate thing. One thing with me being a writer, I've noticed that the women I've gotten along best ever since I said I'm gonna start being a writer, they were supportive of a writer. They were supportive of that field. They were interested. You know, many of them could have edited for me. One did. I remember my co-parent, before we had gotten married, we she said she read something and she said, "Rom, as your editor," she just threw it out there, but that was the thing. Because your talent also it's also a magnet for those who are in harmony with your talent. You know, you could be a great singer and, run into that person that just falls in love with your voice. You know, and I know a lot of ladies, especially ladies and men who can cook. They meet that one mate. It's like, oh yeah, they love that food. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be real. I was gonna say at first, yeah, that woman, but some fellas can throw down in the kitchen, seriously. But bring those talents to the surface. With everything going on, now is the time to do it. All these people who might have lost a job or something, focus on the talent. Yeah, it's definitely focus on getting some, to keep money flowing and everything. But really focus on that talent. You are blessed with that talent. Like every single person on this planet is not here by accident. Every single one. There was something they bringing out. There's some reason they were in. They're here. They had something they were good at, right? I don't care who it is, right? And I'll end with a story about my sister who passed away about 5 years ago, right? Now she was considered mentally retarded. But looking back at it, she was just on the autism spectrum. Because nobody ever looked at her and said, "Oh, she looked mentally disabled." As long as she ain't talk, people said because she would just be quiet, so people wouldn't pick up on anything, right? But I remember I took her to a psychologist, and the reason why I took her to, it was a long story, but I noticed one time she put together a three-dimensional house using nothing but tape and some regular lined paper. No, I think it was just some paper she was drawing with. She had typing paper. And she cut it. She had stairs in it and everything. I mean, she put together a house. And I was like, wow. And then I decided to get her into this program that was for special needs, youngsters and adults. But I had to go through all this technical stuff. I remember she got tested by a psychologist, professional psychologist, and he said there was some aspects her IQ was higher than his. But that was her talent developing stuff like that. Unfortunately, we didn't really know it. And like I said, that was back before there was more awareness of autism. So, but that was her talent. That was her talent. And it could have done a lot more if there was more intelligence, more knowledge about autism. She could have been working someplace professional, designing stuff. So, but bring those talents to the surface, okay? It's very important. So, that's all I have for today. Peace and blessings.